Hi, I'm Huda Ishwafni and I'm here in the wonderful city of Essaouira in Morocco, a city that has inspired the likes of Jimi Hendrix, Orson Welles, and we're going to be taking a trip through its history, art and music, and I have many more surprises in store for you. Now first of all, I want to start off with the history. How on earth did the Romans manage to conquer the world in this outfit? It's so heavy! I can hardly breathe in it, let alone actually move. I think I should go get changed and find myself someone who can tell me a bit more about the history. I have finally found someone that can tell me a lot more about history. Let's go meet Mr. Gnaoua. Hello, Mr. Gnaoua.
Hello, Ms. Huda.
How are you?
Thank you.
Were the Romans really here?
For sure, the Romans were here because many remains of the Romans, like coins, pottery, have been found mainly in the Isle of Essaouira. Why the Isle mainly? Because Juba II, who was vice emperor, has built a big factory which produced this purple dye, as the rocks and the stones of this isle produce this kind of things with which the Romans used to paint their dresses, mainly the dignitary and the imperial people of Roma.
Tell me about this fort.
This is one of the genius building of this French architect I spoke to you about, Théodore Cornu, who has thought very cleverly how to defend the city, either by the barrier reef we have behind us, or this range of cannon and ramparts. And this fort was the headquarters of the commander of the soldiers. And to prove to you how genius it was, I will show you a little surprise if you can follow me.
Good, I like surprises.
I will show you something in this fort which is very particular.
Okay.
For example, this was a reserve of the water, and underground there is a big reserve of munition of all what an army needs for an autonomy of 6 months.
Okay,
But more than that, follow me. If I stay quite in the center,
Yes.
you will hear my voice in a special manner. So when the commander of the soldiers give his instruction, he can be heard many meters from here.
Oh wow!
When I will go there, you will hear me.
Yeah.
Look at this. For example, ha, 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 you hear me?
Yes.
When I will go back a little, you will hear me less, because it is not the center. And as far as I am,
Wow, I can hear
you
myself.
hear me a little.
Yeah.
So this is an example of the genius of the construction of this town, was thought either to the urbanistical side or the military side.
Essaouira was an important trading center for the Moroccan Jews in the business of gold and salt. They contributed into the success and wealth of the region.
Now, if you look at these spices, you'll notice how vibrant the colors are. An artist like Matisse used to come here to pick up these spices, and he used them in his paintings.
Zid.
Now, there are some cooking utensils here, and people here cook their food in them, and the taste that it gives is different once it's cooked on these things here. The man will show you there. So you see, it's all natural. I mean, I cannot stress enough how natural this place is.
سبيسيال ولا دو الصورة أنا الديسان ديال الديس شو زيد عندي مرحبا زيد.
Look at that. I think it's a preserved snake of some sort. God, it's amazing. It's actually quite scary. The one thing you don't get here is the smell. It's an unbelievable combination of things. The spices, dried fruits, amazing, amazing smell. And there are some wonderful, I mean, I don't know what most of them are, but there are some wonderful things here. You just sort of have to search. And people are so friendly. I mean, this is natural shampoo, for instance. You'd have to ask them how to use it. But most of the stuff is completely natural. And wonderful handicraft, as you can see. All sorts of colours, and even the colours you feel they've been naturally, it's natural dye. And everything's handmade.
الفيلم يا مرموزي فيلم
Film.
يلا كاين شي فابور فيه
Now this is my place, it's shoes. There's an amazing smell of leather. All absolutely natural. God, they're so soft and so colourful. And you can bargain here as well. And I mean, you don't really need to because everything is really quite cheap. And the quality is impeccable. Great, great quality. Come follow me. And it's wonderful that you can do it all to this music. Everyone seems so happy here. You can go on the biggest shopping spree and you still wouldn't spend that much. Look, even the dogs are friendly. Now in this little street you can find carpets that have been handmade and they are truly unique. So you see even little streets like this have little galleries and musical meeting rooms. It's fabulous. So you have to check the streets and the corners because they're always worth checking out. I'm here with Mr. Andre Azoulay, advisor to His Majesty King Mohammed VI of Morocco. Mr. Azoulay, thank you for taking the time to talk to me.
Hello.
First of all, I'd like to start by asking you, I know that the Jewish community is very important, was and is still very important in this city. Can you help me understand the role they play?
Yes, first of all, I mean, Essaouira was probably one of the very few cities with a Jewish majority in the population long time ago.
Yeah.
But you know, even if it is not the case now, everything in the mind of the people, in the atmosphere in the city looks, I mean, so convivial, and it's a kind of fusion between the two religions, the two cultures, and it's fascinating. Essaouira Mogador was, long time ago, an example of how Jews and Muslims could live together, showing to the rest of the world that there is no fatality of hate, no fatality of confrontation just because you are Jewish or Muslim. I remember that in my house, just over me here, in the first street, I mean, there was a Muslim family, and just above we were living, a Jewish family, and it was so peaceful.
It's never an issue here.
Never, in the contrary. It was a lesson for the rest of the world.
I hope it still is.
And it
a
is
lesson.
still, absolutely, and we need it probably today more than ever.
I know that there's a synagogue here. Can you tell me a bit about the story of the synagogue?
Yes.
It's closed now, but the one that was transported from Scotland, is that right?
Yes, I mean, I think it was all from Scotland or from Manchester a long time ago, because in this city people were speaking English before speaking French a long time ago. I mean, the first English school in Morocco was opened in Essaouira, Mogador at that time. So our grandparents, our ancestors were speaking Arabic and English.
Yeah.
That's all. That was fascinating. And you know, it's amazing that the Swearies, for instance, to say sit down, they were saying sit down, but they were thinking that they speak Arabic by saying sit down. Exactly. Saying curtains, they say curtains in Arabic world, not a rideau. I mean, it's and it is still the case. It's part of the mythology in this city.
Can you tell me about the treaty between the US and Morocco?
Well, at that time, it was the time of the King Mohammed bin Abdullah, Mohammed III.
Yeah.
And Mohammed III was a creator of Essaouira, was the founder of Essaouira. He was, I mean, staying in his palace on the beach in Essaouira, and you know, people who were coming from abroad, especially from America or from Europe, I mean, their boats were coming first to Essaouira to land. I mean,
as a starting point.
As a starting point. So the ambassador, Kite, sent by George Washington, he arrived in Essaouira and was received by the Moroccan officials for this ceremony of the official recognition by Morocco of the United States of America. And as you know, Morocco was the first state in the world to recognize the USA, and it's something, and it happens in Essaouira.
Yeah, and not a lot of people know that.
No, unfortunately, and many people don't know. For instance, I mean, we are part of the American memory. I mean, who knows that, for instance, the first Jewish senator never elected in the US was a Jewish from Essaouira, the Yuli family.
Yeah.
And who knows also that one of the writers of the Floridian Constitution was also a Jewish from Essaouira.
The late Rabbi Chaim Pinto rests in Essaouira, where Jews from all over the world make yearly pilgrimage to his tomb.
Now I'm here at Gallery Othello, where I was talking to the artist of this collection earlier on. His name is Radwan and he comes from Casablanca. But the minute he set foot in Essaouira, he felt so inspired that now he only likes to paint here. Now if you look at his stuff, you would notice how vibrant the colours are. And that's due to the fact that he uses natural spices like Matisse used to do. He says everything tells a story, and that's what his paintings are about. Now there's been so much interest in this collection that later on in the year is going to a museum in London and hopefully touring the world. To show you there is no religious discrimination. He's a Jew and they're Muslims, side by side. Now I'm here at the Mogador Gallery, where everything is made to an impeccable finish using the burls of the tuya tree. Now if you look at the things, you notice that they're all ultra modern, yet it's using ancient Berber and Muslim designs. These are the burls of the tree that's used, and this is the designer, Mr. Nasser. Tell me, who are your customers?
A lot of people come to visit us here in Essaouira. They used to read it by journal, by newspaper, by TV, French TV. And they come to visit our gallery. They decide to buy from us our furniture, tables, desks, everything.
Has there been anyone famous here?
Yeah, Saint Laurent. He used to come from Marrakesh to visit Essaouira, and he comes straight to our gallery. He bought a desk from me. And Alain Delon too came to me. He bought from me jewelry, wood.
How long would a table like the big one take you to make?
It takes like 8 weeks.
8 weeks.
To finish it with an assistant.
Non-stop?
Non-stop, like 9 hours a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well come, I'll show you my favorite piece. Now this is it. It's called the starfish, but it's a little bit out of my range. It's $1,500, so I can't afford that just yet. But these little babies I can afford. They're only $25 and they're going home with me. Okay, I want you to meet my little co-host. Cute, isn't he? Now I want to tell you a little bit more about the tree behind me. Now it takes 100 years for it to grow fully, and then it lives for another 100 years. So in total it's 200 years. That is a lot of years. Well, here I am up close and personal with the argan tree. Now these little guys are eating the fruit at the moment. They spit out the nut. I'm going to show you the fruit and the nut. Oh, here we go. Now this fruit is produced by the tree, and inside the fruit there's a nut. Now inside this nut there's an almond, and this almond gets pressed to produce argan oil. This oil is being used in the most famous restaurants around the world right now, and it also helps with cosmetic and pharmaceutical products. And I hear that one of them actually helps with wrinkles. Better get me some of that. Now it's available in the most exclusive shops in London, New York and Paris. But why should I go all the way over there to get it? I know a place right here where they actually make it. I'll take you and show you everything. Let's go. What? I know these guys make it look really easy, but it actually isn't. I've been here for 10 minutes. Nothing. Now, if I was able to do it, what I'd be able to get is this almond. This is roasted, then pressed to produce the argan oil. Now, if you look around, you notice that it's all women here. This industry is pioneered by women. It helps support hundreds of women in the region. And it's also run by a woman. She's called Khadija Ghalini, and we'll be able to talk to her later. This is what I'll say for now. Women power. This is where they roast it. هنا فين كتقليو؟
نعم لا هنا فين كنحمروا الزريعه تاع زيت الارغان باش نعصروا منها زيت الارغان ديال الماكله.
Okay, this is for the edible oil. Okay. فمن هنايا من بعد من هنا فين كيمشي؟
انت نهبطوا بحال هكا تنزلوا يدي بحال هكا تنخوي لهاد البلاصه.
This is done. Okay, this is the one that's already done. This is sort of in process of being done. That's ready to sort of become the oil.
هادي وتندخلوها ندوها لا بريس كتبقى تعصر.
Okay, once it's full, then it gets taken over so it can be pressed. So we look at the traditional way.
وحده.
Yeah.
تدير هاد السيده هنا.
Okay.
كتبقى تطحن وتعطينا هاد الخليط بهاد الشكل.
This is pressed, and as you can see what it produces. دابا هاد الخليط ديالش هذا هو اللي كديروا فيه الأمن ولا؟
لا هذا الخليط كنعاودو نخدموه بالماء وتيحيد لينا هاد لو ريزيدو هاد هاد العجينه اللي كتبقى كتدوز بلاصه وزيت الارغان تيدوز بلاصه وحده. واخا كنخدموه بالماء.
It's actually they add water into it and they sort of model it with water. Now she's mixing the pulp with water, and she's going to keep doing this for 15 hours. That's how long it takes to produce the oil. Now, in total, it takes 20 hours to produce 1 litre of argan oil, so it's not as easy as it seems.
زريت زريت ريال
Hello, and welcome to my shop. Well, it's not really my shop, but I'll explain to you what these things are.